Obviously, I'm absolutely gutted with my performance. I don't even know why I bother doing triathlon.
Well, is it congratulations, is it commiserations for you today, Lucy? How are you feeling off the back of that immediately?
But Lucy, anything but a win, you know, always got a bitter bye taste to it.
She races to win, and anything less than that is not good enough. And she's been the bridesmaid so many times. She was bridesmaid in Miami. She is coming here and she will want the win here today.
But how big an itch do you think it's becoming for her, just not quite being able to get herself over the finish line in first?
Obviously, I'm joking. I was super happy with my performance in Singapore. I feel like everything is moving in the right direction. From Miami, I made some good progress. Felt like I stepped forward on the swim and the bike, and the run is definitely trending in the right direction. The conditions in Singapore are brutal, so just to be able to get to the finish line is always a win there. And my performance was definitely miles better than I had in Singapore last year. So overall, really positive, some great takeaways, and looking forward to building throughout this season.
Wearing number 2 from Great Britain, Lucy Charles-Barclay.
On your marks.
Okay if I do it with you?
Yeah, of course, yeah. Race? 2 100s on 130.
Okay.
Yeah?
Does he tell us when to go?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
I had a good race in Miami swimming with you.
Yeah.
And now we're both going to go up to first, not second.
Deal.
3, 2, 1.
Actually, our last 2 PTO finishes are the same.
Yeah.
Because you were also 5th at Singapore, weren't you?
Yeah.
So we both got 5th and 2nd. I feel okay so far. It's hard to tell like if I'm tired from the travel or the race, but I mean it's normal to be a bit of both, yeah.
62, 112. What's your targets?
Oh, God.
2 seconds quicker.
62 is pretty good in this pool.
If I don't mess up the turn.
Yeah, I know. 10 seconds difference between me and Lucy.
I give Sam 10 seconds.
Lucy gains like 2 seconds a turn.
Yeah.
Just from
Yeah, the most impressive, I'm actually the most impressed with your fly. That's quite impressive. No, I've never tried that.
Yeah. Don't do it.
I won't try it now, otherwise I'm going to miss my target.
But yeah, something to practice slowly.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I do something weird where I push both, kind of like.
Then you stop.
Yeah, yeah, I like dead stop right every time I turn.
Then you lose all that momentum.
Yeah, exactly.
This throws your legs over, that pulls your torso around, and then your legs will flip over.
Okay. So yeah, something to practice.
For your next 1500 against Lionel.
Yeah, I gotta be the next time.
3, 2, 1, go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. The winner gets some sweets. 100 meters. 1:11.61.
Wow.
Really good.
Well done.
Nice work. That looks like a quick tumble turn on this end as well.
It's crazy. 61 in this pool.
Nice work, really good.
Yeah.
Another really great thing that the T100 is bringing to us as elite athletes is we're seeing each other more regularly. All the athletes stay in the same hotel. There's always been a good camaraderie between the athletes, but I feel like that's growing even more, the respect between each other, seeing the hard work that goes in on race week and the final preparations. So in Miami, in Singapore, I was able to swim with Sam Long on both of those occasions. We all want to help each other succeed, so if I can just give any small tips and advice to help him and vice versa, then I think that's just really great for us as athletes and just makes the whole experience a lot more fun, because obviously it is high pressure, but having this good vibe and good feeling with all the athletes just makes it a lot more enjoyable for all of us too. And there was a really good after party in Singapore as well with some of the athletes, so yeah, I just feel like we're working hard, playing hard, and yeah, having a great time all round. So the main focus of this block of training leading into Singapore was obviously heat. Basically, as soon as we got home from Miami, we went into a heat training block, trying to get as used to the climate and conditions as possible. And it definitely felt like a little bit of a weird training block because the volume wasn't particularly high, but it was incredibly brutal, like doing all of the training in the hot and humid artificial environment that we were creating at home, getting that core temperature as high as possible, learning to tolerate it, using saunas, doing hot baths. It wasn't the most enjoyable training block, definitely, but it absolutely was worth it in order to get ready for the conditions in Singapore.
Right, how many minutes until I'm sweating? It's literally is colder than what I was training in. I know we're in the shade, but I don't feel hot at all. Bring on, hopefully we've got wind like this on most days. So from memory of last year's race, the hottest part of the day for me was definitely in the swim. I took the swim out hard like I normally do and then really tried to kind of dial it back and just settle into a smooth rhythm because it was extremely warm in the water, and once you overheat, there's no going back really in this climate. So it was all about just taking it a little bit more controlled in the swim. I was very happy with that. It was nice to have a good little group of Lucy Buckingham and Rebecca Clark to start the bike, and tactically that was definitely the smartest thing to do.
made some really good progressions on the bike from Miami. If you look at one of our last videos, we went to the wind tunnel where I made some small adjustments to my bike position that allowed me to actually deliver more power on my bike. I think I was about 15 watts higher on my power in the race in Singapore than I was in Miami, which is quite a big step forward in a small amount of time, especially given the climate was much harsher in Singapore than Miami. And then also I've been doing a focused bit of outdoor riding, so really trying to improve my confidence in the corners and my handling ability, and I really think that showed in Singapore because I actually had so much fun on the bike and there definitely was never any apprehension with the corners. I was just really having a great time, so that's definitely a big step forward from Miami. Obviously leading into this race, the run is where I've been the most limited. We're still being careful in the build back in my running. So we just set a heart rate cap, making sure I didn't overheat. I think that was the most crucial thing with the run in Singapore. The second you go over what's realistic, you're likely to be walking, and I really didn't want to do that. So naturally, starting the run and seeing the chunks of time that Ashley was taking out straight away, it was definitely a mental battle because I knew I wanted to try and run faster, but equally, if I tried to do that, I was probably going to be walking anyway. So it's unbelievable to see how she can run in those conditions. So yeah, fair play to her, and yeah, hopefully we can have more battles in the future as I get stronger on that run. People had been asking how limited I'd been on my run training, and we're kind of around the 50% mark of what I was doing on my run volume leading into Kona, which has been a nice gradual progression, but we just really didn't want to push it. And having scans before that, I still had quite a lot of infant tissue, which I didn't want to push it too much. And I've come away with no discomfort, no issues. So I feel like we can really start to progress that now and keep building. Still feel good that I was able to put a run down that I'm very happy with, but just also happy that I know there's a lot more in the tank too.
High five in the crowd as she makes her way towards the finish line. Still a fantastic race from Lucy Charles-Barclay, but she just wasn't fast enough on that run with the fleet-footed Ash Gentle.
Grateful for every supporter that's out there to come and cheer her on. I mean, she is definitely one of the crowd favorites, but I can tell you what, she will be happy to finish this race and get that hug.
So hard.
I would say one of the highlights in the race, I was coming up to one of the aid stations, was I managed to get my personal aid station bottle into the bin, which I'd missed on the first lap. It like rimmed and hit the side. Second lap I got it in, so there was like a little celebration that you may have seen on the live stream. So yeah, I like to try and keep it fun even when I'm racing hard.
It's your fault. Oh man, that's not thinking about the whole final lap. I was like, and then I got the penalty and I'm like, it's doomed, it's not going to happen. And of course, Lucy Charles was second yesterday and we're like bonded in the whole final lap. I'm like, oh, we're bonded, I'm doomed, I can't get it. I had to get the penalty to take off any hope of having it happen.
Being the reigning world champion, there's a lot of expectation on my shoulders. With that, there was obviously a choice made with my team of, do I sit out these first 2 races and actually put in the training required to be racing at the level that I expect of myself and people have grown to expect from me? Or do I just say, you know what, I'm going to put myself out there, I'm healthy and fit enough to race, I'm going to learn by racing early, and it takes a little bit of pressure off the later races. If I go into a race and get sick or have a mechanical later in the season, it just takes a little bit of pressure off knowing I've already banked 2 really good results. And this season is completely different to anything I've ever done racing as a pro triathlete. Usually I'm aiming to peak once or twice a year, whereas this year is all about being consistent. It's about collecting points throughout the season, performing really well multiple times, and I feel like I'm off to a pretty good start with that. If there's one thing that my injuries in the past have taught me, is that if I'm healthy and fit, I'm going to be on the start line, because you just don't know when you might be sidelined again, and it's so tough to sit out these races even if I don't feel like I'm firing at 100%. There's absolutely no better way than to learn than being in a race environment as well. So I think ultimately it's only going to make me a better athlete.
It's actually all right, says the person who's done no heat acclimatisation.
It's all right at the moment. I'm only been in it 2 seconds. Yeah. I think I'll be melting in about a minute. Yep.
Yeah, today I'm going to a local school.
Oh, fun.
They're like 8 to 10-year-olds, so yeah, I think it's
that's cool that you get to those.
maybe me and Magnus are going.
On the whole, it was a fantastic trip. T100 are really pushing for us to not just be about high performance racing, having the crowds come and watch us, but also just giving a little bit back to the community as well.
Yes, we've come to Sambawang School to meet the young kids that have been doing a bit of a run programme leading up to myself and Magnus coming here. Just really trying to get them inspired by obviously our sport of triathlon, but just sport in general. So sharing a bit of our background in the sport, a bit of our knowledge, some of our healthy and unhealthy snacks, which is cute. Then we did a bit of a relay with them as well, which I think they loved. So hopefully they're all inspired and they're going to come and watch us at the weekend as well.
I think it's just fantastic for us to be able to travel to these iconic locations and not just being a hotel room, actually integrate a little bit with the local community and give back a lot more.
My stomach keeps dropping to the floor all the time.
Ooh, all right.
We went all the way from the highway of the bike all the way. Oh my god, thank you. You're welcome. Can we get a photo with you?
And if you watched the race, you may have seen that I was in a new race suit for this race, which obviously performed pretty well given the conditions. We were probably in the harshest conditions that we will race across any triathlon, not just in the T100, and the suit performed fantastically. We'll have another video coming up about my trip to Rise-On where we flew there after the race in Singapore, so stay tuned for a lot more detail about that coming soon.
We had to double bag my shoes because they stink so bad. Oh. We came into our hotel room and was like, what is that smell?
The death badger in here.
It's called Heat Prep Stink Shoes.
Okay, as part of this video, we are going to do a little giveaway of my race cap from Singapore, which I will sign. If you want to win this, all you have to do is comment below what is your favourite Team Charles-Barclay YouTube video, and yeah, we'll pick one winner from the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and if you are entering into the competition, you must be subscribed to our channel to win the swim cap.